wrappers and bloggers, we are on week 11. Can't believe it, one more week to go, and then no more wrap. I'm getting really sad. Right, so this is the week where all of the work that you've put in to create a wrap, the wellness tools, the triggers, the early warning signs, the values and all that kind of thing comes into fruition. I think that's the right word, but anyway. So sometimes people do break down. Relationships break down, your health, physical or mental health breaks down, you lose a job, and people do, break down. That's just a fact of life. So why not have a plan in place for if you do decide, or if you do, you won't decide to break down, but if you do break down. Okay. The best time to probably create this kind of crisis plan is when you are well. Okay. So the crisis plan, so what we had to do was today is to write this crisis plan for somebody that you trust to see, and you can put stuff down from your well maintenance toolbox, like what you are like when you are well. So that goes back to if you go back to week 2 of wrap, so that people know what you're like when you're well. Then part 2 is looking at the symptoms that you are possibly not well at all, and that you're really, really struggling, and that you need others to take full responsibility for your care. So stuff, I've got quite a big list. So stuff would be for me, my anxiety increases more and more. I'd probably think about suicide, and my weight would go down a lot. I wouldn't eat at all, and my OCD would come out, and it would take me at least 3 or 4 hours to get outside the house because I want everything to be correct. But that's just stuff that's just a few of mine. So I'll put this all up on the blog like I usually do. Then you've got your crisis plan. You need to identify your supporters. Keeping in mind, when you do choose your supporters, keep in mind maybe 5 or 6 values that you would want from a person who could be a potential supporter. So for example, mine would be I want someone who motivates me, challenges me. I want someone who's also patient with me. I need truth. I don't need beating around the bush. I want someone to tell me, these are the facts. I need loyalty as well. So there's just a few things. So then you just go and you can list down the people that will help you, who they are, what relationship they are, what relationship to you, and their number, and what role. This is very crucial. Is what role you want these people to play in your life when you've broken down. So my husband to be, his role is to keep my daughter safe, to ring my CPN or other support, and to ring my mum to get my daughter, and also to support me. So then I've got my CPN and my psychiatrist. They could look at my medication, they could try and talk to me, and all that kind of thing, and support me, trying to make me maybe think a little bit more rationally. My mum is definitely, and my nan are there to look after my daughter, because I have 3 great support people that support me. People, it's a good thing to put in people that you don't want to be involved. It could be anybody nosy aunts, or that's just people that you don't want to be involved. And I put stuff because of my experience, I don't want social services involved. I don't find them helpful. There's other things I can do, and other support and services I can access. And I don't want my ex-partner involved in any way because he's very unhelpful in all situations pertaining to myself. Then what you need to do is you need to write down a list of your medications that you take, but you also need to tell people the reason why you're taking them, okay? And also a good thing is it says here, look at the, if you end up going into hospital, for example, and at least if you decide, it's good to say what you prefer to take, because you might not be able to communicate this when you're broken down. And then if you've got this plan and people can see it and they can respect that and go, oh, okay, we won't do that. We won't give her that medication because for whatever reason why she chooses not to use it, makes her feel a certain way. So that's really good. And then you've got what's even more important is certain medication and supplements that must be avoided. So in my case, I have allergic reaction to haloperidol and olanzapine. Those are very dangerous medications to give me, and like I said, I have a very bad reaction to them. So it's good to write about those too if you know what medications or supplements don't work for you. Then we have to look at treatments that help reduce your symptoms and when they should be used. So I just went over this, I'll put this on the website, but just stuff like, my medication, using techniques, mantras, that kind of thing, treatments I want to avoid and why. So certain medications, I'd be very against somebody doing ECT, electric shock convulsive therapy. I'm totally against that, so I do not think that is a great treatment for myself. And then what you need to look at after all that is what can be put into place in order for you to be able to stay at home and within the community. So again, for me, I found quite a few things. So maybe somebody comes in, helps me physically with the washing, cleaning, that cooking, that kind of thing. I could look at like respite care, a share, which is in my local vicinity. I'd probably try and get the crisis team involved, which is another support service that I can access, and I have accessed before. I'd also want my partner to access his carers support because he'd be stressed out. There's a whole lot of stuff that I'll put up. Another really good one is when I'm like completely when I've broken down, I tend to I'm not very organized, and I'm usually a very organized person. I'm up to date with what appointments I need to go to, whose birthday it is, what's going on, and when I'm unwell, all of that kind of just flitters away, should I say. So I would need somebody to take on that role and maybe reschedule appointments and all that kind of thing, or that open my post, etc. Okay, then we went on to part 7, which is about treatment facilities. So if you have been sectioned before or voluntarily admitted yourself to a certain hospital or something like that, you can tell them which places you prefer to go to and why, and the place, and also you could tell them about the facilities you want to avoid and give them the reasons why. And then part 8 is things that help from others. So things that can be done for me that will help reduce my symptoms or make me more comfortable. I think this is going back to your wellness maintenance toolbox, and looking at the different techniques that you've perhaps have decided to try. Then it's very long. A crisis plan is quite long, but it's good to do. Part 9 are things others might do or have done in the past that did not help you or made your symptoms worse. Can I think of something off the bat? Somebody saying, you're lazy, just get out of bed, or something like that. But I'm gonna we didn't have enough time to actually go through everything in detail, but I will do, and I will update my crisis plan on my blog website under the wrap page. Then we have the inactivating crisis plan. So these are symptoms and lack of support, lack of symptoms or actions that indicate that my supporters no longer need to use this crisis plan. This is very, very, very important, because what happens when I get better, my concentration improves, personal hygiene gets better, start to take an interest in people and more. I'm more positive, I use my mantras, I eat better, I can see the silver lining, I'm interested in my interests, blogging, readings, going out to theatre and that kind of thing. And a big one is that sometimes when somebody has been when my partner's taking care of myself, when I've been unwell, is that he's taken on routines that I've done, previously, so like bath time routine with my daughter, or maybe bedtime routine, and sometimes you need to kind of say, I want to do those routines again because I'm better. So that for me was a very important one, because it can be hard. It's a lot easier to kind of let that person carry on doing it, but that's something that's yours, that you used to do, and it's reclaiming that again and saying, I am able to do that again. And then it just follows on, the inactivating crisis plan follows on to any continuing support that will help you recover from the crisis. So encouragement and motivational grades, pick up your wellness tools, go back to week 2. And there's quite a few. Review your wrap, and just start to rebuild your relationships and be kind, and kind to yourself. And then what you've got is your consent to share information with whatever hospital. I'll put that up for you as well. And then you've got your witnesses. So you can commit to this. First of all, you can commit to this crisis plan, which helps doctors, families, and everyone around know what you want when you are unwell. Lastly, before I go, because I've got to get my little girl. Lastly, I just want to say that this is not a legal document. It wouldn't hold up in court. But it is just a commitment between your circle of protection or your wanted entourage. That'll help you when things just basically go to shit. So that's that. I've got quite a bit to do myself. I've got homework. So I will do that, and I'll put it all up on the blog. And I think it's going to be the last time next week where I get to do the final wrap. But I'll do it again today, and I'll be really positive, and I'll go, it's a wrap, and have a lovely week and weekend, and I shall see you on the camera in week 12. Okay, I went on